If intelligence is what makes most people succeed, the smartest students will never fail exams. But the funny part is that most smart students fail exams. Intelligence doesn't have anything to do with how well you pass a particular exam and how well you can assimilate any information. It has to do with this particular thing that I'll be discussing with you in this video. There's one myth people believe about intelligence, which I'm here to actually correct. They feel like intelligence is fixed and the rate at which you assimilate information and all your learning depends on intelligence. But I'm here to tell you in this video that nothing like that has to do with your intelligence. The rate at which you assimilate information, the rate at which you learn fast, the rate at which you perform well in your exam has nothing to do with your intelligence, but it has something to do with this. According to neuroscience, learning is not about how smart you are, but about how consistently you can activate certain neural pathways in your brain. And according to them, your brain is plastic and it is embedded in a theory called neuroplasticity. That is, your brain can rewire itself to condition to any certain difficulty you open it to. Intelligence has nothing to do with learning or how well you assimilate information. It depends on how frequently you rewire your brain to be able to expand and be able to capture certain things that you expose it to. If intelligence is not actually what matters, what actually matters? Right now, I'll be discussing 5 things on things that actually matter while studying rather than intelligence. Before I go ahead with discussing these 5 things, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying intelligence don't actually matter, but intelligence is like the necessary condition, but not a sufficient condition. Intelligence is what you need, but it is not completely what determines learning. And what actually makes you intelligence is the interaction between nurture and nature. Nurture is how well you can learn something, how well you expose yourself to certain materials and certain learning environment over time, and your exposure, that is nurture. But nature is your genetics. But then there are certain people, they don't exhibit certain amount of intelligence, but that doesn't mean that you are bound to be like that forever. You can change based on nurture by exposing yourself to certain things, by opening yourself to certain experiences. And that is what neuroplasticity is all about, is your ability to rewire your brain to be able to learn and adapt to new situations. So in as much as your gene doesn't exhibit certain level of intelligence, you can change by exposing yourself to more learning. So intelligence is necessarily nurture and nature, and you are not bound to be a particular that, okay, if as long as this person is smart, this person is smart forever. As long as this person is dull, this person is dull forever. It is not cast in stones. You can change. The person that is smart can become dumb later if the person do not continually learn and expose himself to certain experiences and more learning. Someone that's dull can become smart as long as the person keep improving and the person keep exposing himself to certain experiences and correct his mistakes. So it is not cast in stones. And what actually makes this happen is neuroplasticity. Necessarily, intelligence doesn't have to do with how well you learn. Intelligence only have to do with the rate of exposure that you have, and this can actually help you learn. I hope you get that. So I'll be explaining 5 things that actually matter rather than intelligence. If you exhibit these 5 things, then you will be able to learn faster and study better and improve yourself in your exam rather than just saying, oh, this person is smart, this person is intelligent. Consistency rewires the brain. I was explaining something about neuroplasticity the other time, and I said neuroplasticity is your ability to rewire your brain. What makes this happen is consistency. If you consistently expose yourself to certain difficulty over time, it rewires your brain. Your brain restructures itself to adapt to that situation. For example, if you're a student that doesn't like reading at all, or you're a student that doesn't like calculation at all, you're a student that doesn't like reading so much books at all. Now, that doesn't mean that you are dull or you can never do it, but you need to go ahead and take action on that particular thing by going further and reading and exposing yourself to that situation that you want to learn. The consistency that comes with you exposing yourself to that particular situation rewires your brain and make you adapt to new situations. And that's where neuroplasticity comes in. Efforts create strong memories than ease. Now, before you can be consistent, you need to actually make an effort to expose yourself to that particular difficulty or that particular thing that you are trying to do. If you make the effort to push through, no matter the challenge you face, if you now consistently expose yourself to it through effort, then your brain rewires itself and becomes adaptive to learn new and things that you once found difficult. And if you ever think that you'll be able to get to a new level of exposure, a new level of intelligence by just doing easy things, you are fooling yourself. You need to actually put in the effort. And that is where Carol Dweck pointed in her book Mindset, and she made a distinction between the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And it is actually embedded in this, because in the fixed mindset, they believe that intelligence and certain abilities are cast in stones. And they feel like if once you are smart, you are smart. Once you are dumb, you are dumb. But if you have a growth mindset, by taking more effort and you are being consistent, you rewire your brain to learn new things, and you'll be able to pull through any difficulty, and learning becomes easy to you. Retrieval beats intelligence. There are some students that before they enter university or before they get into a new level of schooling, they were the best in their class. They were topping their class. They were having the good grades. But by the time they get to another level of education, they start flopping because they did not adapt themselves to new situations of learning. And it seems as if they don't know anything at all. So that is where although they can be regarded as intelligent in some places, but in other places, if they don't learn the required skill that will make them learn certain things effectively, they will flop. And that is why retrieval beats intelligence. The more you retrieve whatever you learn and put it to you and bring it bare to your brain, the more that thing strengthens the more, and you'll be able to learn effectively. But if you only depend on intelligence, oh, they said I'm intelligent, I don't need to study this, there's overconfidence, then you will not be able to perform as you are supposed to. So when it comes to learning, intelligence is like the first condition, but other conditions that comes with learning effectively and studying is consistency, effort, and retrieval. If you find it really difficult to remember what you study in the exam hall, if you struggle to understand certain concepts that you study, my one-on-one coaching is for you, because I'll provide you with personalized help that will guide you through anything you are studying. You'll be able to remember almost everything in your exam. You'll be able to understand concepts that you once found difficult. And I'll also provide you with a study plan that will guide you through your study process and will make you study consistently, become more disciplined, and focus better. So many students around the world have benefited from my one-on-one coaching, and they've been seeing results, and you should not miss out from this opportunity. You can click the link in the description to sign up for my one-on-one coaching, and if you do, there is an ebook bonus for you once you sign up for this one-on-one coaching. There are limited slots available, and don't sleep on it. So click the link in the description and get started with me today. Attention. Attention is very important, because it's your level of attention that determines the rate at which you assimilate something fast. If you are distracted, you won't be able to learn, and your brain will not be able to encode certain things faster. The more attention you have, the more you'll be able to encode faster, and the more you'll be able to learn effectively. And this has nothing to do with intelligence at all. So I haven't talked about the things that matter. What are the steps that you actually need to take while studying that will make you assimilate faster, learn effectively, and be able to pass very well in your exam, rather than just depending on intelligence? Consistent study schedule. Now, like I said, consistency requires the brain. You have to have a consistent study schedule and have a timetable that you follow every single time. If you have this timetable, it will help you. You won't have to start thinking of what to study, and it should give you a focus that by this time I'm studying this, at this time at this place. So if you have that consistent study schedule, it also help you to space out your learning in a way that you'll be able to study them at spaced interval, because the more spaced interval you study, the more you allow your brain to forget the information, and forgetting the information actually helps in learning, because if you forget and you now apply testing or active recall at that point and you bring it to bear after you must have forgotten, it strengthens the information, and you have to do this without having access to the book. All these things doesn't have anything to do with intelligence. You can be regarded as a dominant student in your class, but you have to prove them wrong. If you have this step, you can prove them wrong and put it into practice step by step. You see your results improve. Just make sure you have a consistent study schedule, space out your learning over a period of time, allow your brain to forget, and retrieve them by using active recall. If you want to know more about active recall, you can check out this video approved to check more about active recall. You should test yourself under difficulty. Difficulty actually means that you are learning something. If you face difficulty and you feel like, oh, this thing is difficult, I don't have, let me just leave it, then you will not be able to rewire your brain to get to the point where you condition yourself to learn difficult things. But the more difficult it is, just know that something is happening at that point and you are learning. If something becomes too easy while you are learning, just know that you've known it already. But if it becomes difficult, it is your ability to pull through that matters. So if you pull through and you've gotten, you try as much as possible to get to the other side, then you've learned and you've rewired your brain to be able to learn new things. So I hope you got so much value from this video. If you did, please kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. You can also check out this other video on other tips you need in order for you to be able to study effectively, rather than thinking that intelligence is everything you need. And also don't forget to click the link in the description to sign up for one-on-one coaching. And if you do, you're going to get a free ebook when you do that. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.